The Sarasota Orchestra, what's happening? Good morning, everyone. My name is Mike Rennick. I'm the senior broker, the team lead with Team Rennick Real Estate Services. We're part of that great Keller Williams and the family. In this video and the others we've done is all about telling the story of the local communities, things going on. And I can't think of a better person to help tell that story than the owner publisher of the Longboat Key News and Sarasota City News, Mr. Stephen Reed. Good morning.
Team Rennick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for joining us. It's another beautiful day in Florida. But something's happening with the orchestra. What is that?
Absolutely correct. There's big news going on in the world of symphonic music in Sarasota. This past week, Joseph McKenna, who is the director and CEO of the orchestra, approached the City of Sarasota Commission, the village elders, and said, we want to move. We're ready, we have a master plan, and we want to relocate and build a brand new symphonic hall, rehearsal space, and have a real complex to work out of at Payne Park.
So today we're standing by the current building.
This is Holly Hall, and this is right next to the Van Wezel, and currently they perform some of their pieces here, some of their work here, and then there's about a half dozen other venues, including the Van Wezel. They have performance places that they share and use, and they have to schedule with all these organizations, and that's part of the problem for them.
So they're looking for their own home.
For their own home, to not have to work around schedules that are getting increasingly complex to accommodate. Right. And then, as we've talked about in other videos, everybody in the community should know by now, this land we're on is part of the 52 acres that is going to be part of the Bay project. The symphony announced a year ago they weren't going to be part of that plan, but they didn't say where they wanted to go, and they expressed the desire to rebuild a couple decades ago, because they've always had this wandering identity, sort of, and not enough space. And some acoustical challenges from a musical standpoint. So this is going to be what they're proposing is to go to Payne Park. Currently, there's a tennis center there, Payne Park Tennis Center, and that's where the difficulty lies. The community loves this tennis center, highly used, packed throughout the busy season. The city just took back control of it, renovated it. They want to demolish the tennis center, rebuild the tennis center to the south, and they told the city it'll be bigger and better than ever, just to the south in Payne Park, and then be on that corner, if you know where you get your license tags, the DMV.
I do.
Right behind there is the tennis center, next to the city police station, and that's where they want to be, on that corner where the tennis center is.
So where do we stand in terms of all the above?
Well, they want to move quickly. They want the city to bless this plan at their March commission meeting.
So that's coming up very soon.
Coming up in a couple weeks. Now, the city, a couple of the commissioners said, hey, slow it down. We're not so sure about all of the repercussions. They have to find out whether Payne Park, the deed underlying the land may have been for recreational, passive or active recreation. They have to make sure it'll conform legally. Meanwhile, Symphony wants to fundraise. They know they're leaving here. They've announced that. They've got a strong popular base. They've got good community support.
Absolutely.
It's exciting. I think that the critical challenge for the symphony and the city is making sure that tennis center, and I'm very biased this way, I probably play tennis 3 times a week at that center, is rebuilt to the kind of standards that exceeds what exists today.
And so in other words, they're saying if they're going to do it, let's do it right.
Let's do it right. It could be a big win-win. But of course, it's a park. It's a recreational park. So we have to make sure we don't chew up all the open park space. But I think this is exciting.
So there's still more planning that needs to be done.
Planning, approvals, little community soul searching. And but I think that they're they also need permission from the county. They want to use the county parking garage at night for their performances, which saves them from having to build a parking structure on site. So, they've got a good plan.
So doesn't this whole thing and other things we've talked about on the videos, what we're showing and we're talking about progress, but progress done right? They're thinking through these things. We're looking at newer facilities, larger buildings, larger tennis courts, or better built tennis courts. So it's the ambiance, keeping the ambiance of Sarasota, but taking us into the next century.
And it's not, to me, I get nervous when I hear that word progress. It's a value-laden term. But I would say that this definitely is a redevelopment to accommodate the increasing demand. My hope, they build something architecturally significant and really build a beautiful building, a signature hall. This isn't. So this, I could see them demolishing. I think the tennis center, if they build something superior, that would be exciting. And we have more demand than ever. If anyone who lives down here sees the new condos, some of the realtors are aware of that. You may be aware of all the new multi-million-dollar condominiums. They love the Symphony.
Yes,
they want to play tennis.
Well, it's part of the reason Sarasota is so popular.
It is.
We're a small town. We argue with big town activities to do. We're closer to big towns, but in Sarasota, you've got the arts, you've got sports, you've got everything. Walking downtown, you've got island communities, you've got some of the best mom and pop restaurants in the world, I believe.
Beaches, big one.
So,
beaches and water.
And you know, so this is what we're all about here in Sarasota.
Well, a lot of the people come to this area, come from cities. They come from, you know, they come from New York, Chicago,
Michigan.
Michigan, let's not forget Michigan, Boston. So they're used to a very high level of cultural amenities. So when you have the orchestra here, the opera here, they rival these big city.
Absolutely.
You know, because if you're used to Lincoln Center, and then you come here, this doesn't disappoint. They have high level of productions, very, very exciting works, and they have the capacity with building these bigger halls, because the Van Wezel's going to do the same thing, and they're doing it here, allows them to bring in bigger and better performances. So it is a big deal.
So there's more to tell on this story, like with all of our stories. So we need to come
We
back.
have a reason to stay alive and keep doing this.
That's right. But we need to come back and revisit this and keep the progress up to date. Would you agree?
Yes, we do.
Once again, Steve, another outstanding job. I appreciate the prep work you put into this, your knowledge, and willing to invest your time.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Steve, thank you. Take care.
Thanks. You too.